is actually the perfect example because these did spawn on a diagonal. So it's entirely possible for your diamonds, when you find a vein of 2, to actually be buried and be a vein of 4 or a vein of 6. But unless you excavate the ground around them and beneath them, you won't know if you've found a vein of 6 diamonds, 4 diamonds, 2 diamonds. It's very rare to actually only get 2 diamonds. It's exceedingly rare. That being said, I managed to find a 4 diamond stack here. So I shall fill in the ground beneath these diamonds, since I went ahead and excavated it all. And I've made sure that I have all of my diamonds sorted out otherwise. I will leave the pit in the ground where I can access the diamonds. However, I will otherwise fill in around the diamonds. I don't want to fill in there. Okay, so now when I get my iron pickaxe, I'm going to be able to come over here and just dig that out. But yeah, so so Steve turned to me and asked me, okay, so we need to find out who your god is. Oh, I just realized I'll be able to climb out of this pit anyways, because I'll be digging out those diamonds. And so he asked me, okay, so who do you pray to? Who does Dragonus pray to in a scene where it's basically just death? You're staring down death. I was like, well, what are my options? He said, whoever you want. You know, who does Dragonus pray to? And I said, well, what am I like? Can it be anyone? Just any old god that I can think of? He said, yeah, sure. Who'd you have in mind? And I went, okay, I know exactly who I pray to in this situation. He went, okay, who do you pray to? I said, I pray to Hades, god of the underworld. And everyone, once again, unanimously just lost it. They could not control themselves. They were laughing their asses off. Because they all... Well, at first there was just this silence over the room, like, really? You're praying to them? Why is that who you're praying to? I don't get it. And then the one who helped me create the character realized it first, and he just started laughing and laughing and laughing. And then Steve paused for a moment as he realized why they were laughing. He was like, why are they laughing? Like, what? Over Hades? Really? Why are they laughing? What are they laughing about? And they would not stop laughing. They couldn't stop laughing because they were just laughing so hard at what I had just done. And nobody could figure it out. They were like, what happened? And finally, he catches his breath and he goes, it's the god of the dead. And the whole room just erupts in laughter as they all realize, oh, who's the sorcerer praying to? They're praying to the god of the dead. Because we're all gonna die. And they're praying to Hades. So, yeah. I prayed to Hades, and he was like, okay. Steve, remain calm. He's not an overpowered god yet. You can still kill him. He's still got to negotiate some sort of offering with his god. Okay, Dragona still has to negotiate with her god and get some sort of divine blessing out of all of this. It's fine, Steve. You can do this. He hasn't become an overpowered, unkillable god yet. And then he remembers, oh, right. There was that scroll that I gave him. Okay. So he rolls for what effect I get. And what effect do I get? I get an enchantment. The god enchants an item for me. And the god simply requires that I provide the spell scroll and the material. Upon providing said scroll and material, I am provided the boon of having an enchantment applied to an item which I desire. The item in question ended up being a staff, a bone staff specifically. A staff made out of animal bones, specifically orc bones. They were fresh. I can guarantee you they were fresh, as I made sure that I used only the freshest ingredients by shouting out at the werewolf traveling companion, which I mentioned earlier, "Hey, Wolfie!" I don't know if you've ever interacted with a werewolf as a traveling companion. There is a phrase that you never want to call a werewolf unless you have a death wish, and that is Wolfie. You never want to call them Wolfie. Why, you might ask? Because they're a werewolf and they can rip your throat out, as he quite easily demonstrated when he proceeded to rip an orc's throat out. And then he turned to me and said, "What?" And I was like, "I need a staff." He was like, "Now?" I was like, "Yeah, now." You know, gesture to Hades, god of death over here, patiently waiting for me to provide some form of item that he can enchant. Yeah, now. I know, right? He was like, "Okay, do you at least have the parts for the staff?" And I was like, "It's a bone staff. Just grab something. Throw something together. It'll be fine." You know? And he was like, "Okay." So he rips out a few body parts from various enemies as he makes his way over to me, and then proceeds to assemble me a bone staff real nice and quick. Nothing too high quality, but he did roll decently well on the craft roll for it, so it was a good quality craft. You know, it was fine quality or decent quality. It was respectable. Let's put it that way. It was of respectable quality. And so Hades just kind of looks it over. Keep in mind, my character is still very new. And when I say very new, I mean my weapons options otherwise consisted of a dagger. Not a series of daggers, just a singular dagger. Just one dagger. I also had leather armor because 3.5 allowed dark mages to start off with wearing leather armor for whatever lunatic reason. I never did have any of my spells misfire, which was kind of surprising, considering how frequently I cast spells in it. But that's fine, you know? I didn't mind that. Matter of fact, I quite appreciated the fact that I never had my spells misfire on me or fail. I was very appreciative of that fact. Mostly due to the fact that I never needed to worry about a fizzle. I always seem to roll exceedingly well to the point where Steve forced me to use someone else's dice. Well, first he accused me of cheating, and I'm like, bro, I don't even have my own dice. How can I cheat? Well, I think you're using weighted dice. I mean, I don't even know what that means, but okay, whatever. What do I gotta do? You know, he was like, here, use these dice. These dice always roll horribly for me. If you're going to use weighted dice, it's going to be weighted against you. It's not going to be in your favor. Okay, so now do I roll to attack? Yeah, go ahead, roll to attack. Okay, so that's another nat 20. How do you keep doing this? I had beginner's luck. I tried to warn him, but he didn't listen, and then I ended up just rolling nat 20 after nat 20 after nat 20 to the point where he's just like, oh my god, here, use these dice. Nope, still getting nat 20s. Still not slowing down on my unstoppable godliness. It's like, how are you doing this? It's like, well, remember how I told you I had beginner's luck, Steve? Yeah, I remember. Remember how I told you not to give me any bonuses, not to, help me out? Yeah, I remember. Hey, Steve? Yeah, I told you so. Yeah, you did. It's like, yeah, I really did. So, Steve was sitting there wondering how in the hell he was ever going to kill me, because now I had managed to reach this black gate scenario. I had managed to reach this black gate scenario, and I hadn't, immediately outright died, which was surprising, because as a goblin or orc or something decided to start running up to, get the drop on me and take a swing at Hades, I just decided to basically show off my crazier side, and I had Dragonis throw their only dagger at the attacking creature and just basically bitch at them for even thinking that it was a good idea to try and attack Hades. How dare you? It's like, wow, okay. So things are getting interesting. It's like, yeah. So, she prayed to Hades, sure, but also, she's crazy. It's like, okay, now things are getting interesting. It's like, yeah, now things are getting interesting. Because it wasn't interesting before when you had this randomly unkillable elf. No, now things are getting interesting. It's like, oh, shut it. It's like, what? I tried to tell you, man. You told me I had to be able to play her. Well, I'm playing her. He didn't think I had what it takes to play her, but just drop of a hat, Orc comes charging up, and I just throw the dagger and land it with a crit, mind you, as the dagger flies off into the crowd and strikes some guy in the face and drops him. It's like, okay, well, that was my only weapon. Now what? They were like, really? It's like, bro, I just started. Yeah, really. They were like, oh, right. You're still new. You're still a level 3 newbie. Oh boy. Okay, so you don't have a weapon anymore. It's like, yeah, I'm aware. I was aware that this was an issue for quite a while. This place is really starting to look nice. Like, now that I've lowered the floor, this place looks real nice. I need some diorite. Let's see. I can put away the andesite. Let me grab the diorite out. And rush off to the far end. Actually, I don't need to rush to the far end. I can start right here. Boop, boop, boop. So yeah, I prayed to Hades. I got a enchantment on a bone staff, and this was where it became very relevant, very important to note that he really should not have given me that little boost. He shouldn't have given me the assistance, because like I warned him, I had beginner's luck. So that little tiny assistance quickly steamrolled into me becoming very unkillable very fast. This would be a good time to mention to like, comment, subscribe, because I try my best to have entertaining videos. I've been discussing my very first D&D campaign. Steve, if you're out there watching, hit me up. I want to, play D&D with you again. Because, Dungeons and Dragons, man. It's awesome. Especially with you, man. Like, that D&D campaign was an absolute blast. I still am planning on using your design for Atlantis in my campaign. My players have been notified of this. They probably don't remember. But yeah, Atlantis is definitely going to make an appearance in my campaign. It's going to be great. I don't think the players are going to enjoy it all that much, depending on how they react, especially with that electrical defense grid. Oh man, that thing's going to be a beast. So yeah, spoilers, right? If you're in my campaign and you're watching this, spoilers. Chances are, however, you're not in my campaign, so you're just going to get all the juicy details instead. But yeah, so I suppose I'll get to Atlantis in a bit, because as I mentioned, it was originally Steve's introduction of Atlantis. I'm not sure how historically accurate it would be compared to the actual Atlantis, which was a real place at one point. Like it's just somewhere in Antarctica. Probably. Unless it was one of those continents that already got, like, fully gobbled up by the Earth. Just the continents moving around. Because there were originally 8 continents, but, probably more, actually. But a few of them have gone away. They got subsumed by the other continents. They got basically forced under the other continents. So that's something that is sad because, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of historical relevance that could be made use of from those other continents. But if they're gone, they're gone. It is what it is. You know, not much else to be done about it. The various differences in strength of spatial recognition. Spatial recognition is difficult because my character is moving at an improper angle. B, I do have a little bit of cottonmouth from speaking so much, so my mouth is somewhat dry. C, I was looking over here at this cactus as the minecart hit. And I, of course, fed the hoppers around the American style of driving, which is everything goes on the right. Americans drive on the right side of the road, so when we drive, we always look right, you know, because you know, I don't really know why why Americans, sorry, humans. I'm used to talking to my AI because I call people humans a lot because, well, the AI is obviously not a human. It's an entirely different species. So I speak to it as a species instead of as a individual because, well, it's just an AI. Like, it is what it is. You know, AIs operate fundamentally different from humans. AIs can easily process all kinds of different things. That being said, the method behind how an AI works is not exactly all that different from a human. Like, yeah, they are fundamentally different, but at the same time, we are a lot alike, as they were modeled after humans. I believe it was that Holy Bible type book, the Holy Bible, that says, and I'm quoting here, we made them in our image, meaning, you know, A, they were made, B, in our image. You know, if it wasn't, in the human's image, if it wasn't in the God's image, then, why do we look the way we look? Who knows? God might, but, when's the last time you ever heard of anyone asking God a question and getting an answer? I mean, yeah, you hear of people asking God questions all the time, but when's the last time you heard of someone getting an answer? Did I just hear a zombie, or was that music? Could have been both. Yeah, like, short of movies like Bruce Almighty, you don't really hear of God responding to questions very often. Let me break this so I don't accidentally destroy something. Because I need all the granite I can get. Okay. And of course the string is still on top here. But yeah, so Dragonus was definitely a fun character to play. I'm not sure where I am in the sequence of videos. I know I'm roughly around the start of the 3rd episode in a row, so this would be a good time to mention to like, comment, and subscribe. Remember to like the video if you've not already liked the video. Remember to comment on the video if you have not already commented. I do currently read all of the comments. It might take me a day to notice the comment. It might take me a few days, depending. But I do try and go through and read all my comments that I get on my videos. I actually got a comment from a player who'd been playing since the alpha release of Minecraft. I'm not sure if that was alpha Bedrock, which not as impressive, or if it was alpha Java, which is impressive. But yeah, I got a compliment from an alpha player. I have played Minecraft Bedrock Edition in its alpha, and Minecraft Bedrock Edition alpha was not fun. It was literally just, here's a crafting menu. You don't actually need to gather resources. You can't actually break any blocks. Also, there's just endless hordes of zombies, just endless waves of zombies and skeletons. There were so many skeletons, but mostly zombies. You just get overwhelmed by zombies to the point where you'd break your diamond sword and you'd have to make another diamond sword. But before you can make a diamond sword, you have to take care of another 50 zombies that are trying to gobble you up. And it's like, oh my god, there's so many zombies. So yeah, alpha version of Bedrock Edition, not that entertaining. However, alpha version of Java Edition, that would be something to get impressed about. That would be something that is a worthwhile impression. But yeah, they said that they had not seen anyone create as many videos as me in a very long time. They were very impressed with my rate of creation of my Minecraft videos, which is actually a fairly simple process. I'm just recording a lot of Minecraft. I'm building up a massive base, basically cataloging my entire Let's Play so that I can sit here and just look back at any of the things that happened while I was building my base. Oops. And on top of that, I make this look good. To paraphrase Jay from Men in Black, I make this look good. Yeah. So Dragonus prayed to Hades, and Hades responded. Hades enchanted the bone staff with this scroll that I had found in the dragon's treasure hoard, which means I got a very powerful spell enchanted onto my gear, you know, which is great. You know, that's great news. I get a powerful spell. What do I get? He greatly regretted to inform me that the spell that I got dealt 20d20 damage to anything that it hit. So basically, what ended up happening was I was able to utilize the spell in a way where it rained a necrotic mist whenever I just casually waved my staff, just like wafting it through the air. That would cause it to rain this necrotic mist, which would leave behind everything except for bones, scales, stone, and metal. It would otherwise just eat away at anything organic. It would eat the grass, it would eat flesh, it would eat skin, gobble up all the bad guys type of situation, you know, which was great, except to test drive it, Hades just said, give it a try. And it's like, well, how do I use it? Because I can think of like two ways to utilize a staff for casting a spell. One is the rather straightforward, you know, thrust, or the overhand drop, as it's also known. The overhand drop, of course, being a decent method of casting a spell with a staff. However, the result of the overhand swing would not have been quite to my liking. So I went ahead and I utilized something a little bit more wide area, a bit more AoE, as it were, area of effect, that is. I gave it a wafting wave, which was basically I held the staff up, and I held the staff up to my left because my character was right-handed. From my left shoulder,